So it's a full day of eating here. It's been about half an hour since I've been up. We start my day with a decaf. I have half of this in the morning with my coffee. There is literally no reason as to why I do this in terms of peak performance. I do it because it makes me happy. I like to start my day like this. Perhaps you could argue that obviously chocolate helps release serotonin as a precursor to serotonin. That can make you feel good for the day ahead. Other than that, I just do it because I enjoy my chocolate and that helps keep me sane. I should mention as well, I have 1 teaspoon of sugar with my coffee. Sugar is not the devil. You're not going to die if you're an active individual. If 80% of your diet is really good, whole food, organic, you're not going to give yourself diabetes. You're not going to have like chronic inflammation or cancer or something like some of these keto zealots have you thinking. Sugar in the morning is fine as long as you're not spiking your insulin. Be realistic here. So supplements in the morning, I'm sure a lot of you people are already thinking, what does a health and performance coach take? What does he take to look this handsome? First thing I take on most days actually is L-theanine. It's a really good relaxant. It's a really good way to keep you calm throughout the day. Other things I take daily is creatine monohydrate. Pretty self-explanatory if you're into fitness. There is actually some cognition or cognitive benefits now with over like 10,000 studies done. It's like the safest thing out there. I don't know why people are still apprehensive about taking it. When you do take it with plenty of water. It can be dehydrated, and that's the only, I would say, potential side effect. The other thing that is just a staple for me, I take this traveling. I love this thing. I think this is going to become very popular in the next few years. You heard it here first. NAC, N-acetylcysteine. It is basically a precursor to glutathione. Why is that important? Glutathione is like the king of antioxidants within your body. It helps with every cell production, cell metabolism in the body. So 1 scoop is 700 milligram. I'll take 1,400 milligrams a day, depending on if I'm traveling, if I'm stressed. Other than that, sometimes I take it every other day, just a scoop, 700 milligram. That's going to really help support basically every function in my body. Some other supplements I take, and we might go through some more later through the day. Why not? But I don't take these every day. These I do. IFOS fish oil. It's basically the gold standard of fish oil. Check your fish oil. If it doesn't have this IFOS rating here, you can pretty much, not guarantee, but there's a high likelihood that fish oil is not of the highest purity or quality. Could be rancid. Take these year round, everything's been taken them, heart, skin, nails, joint. Might be some evidence with cognition, but it's a bit grey. So take them every single day, twice a day. Take it with a high-fat meal, so I'll obviously have a high-fat breakfast, so you'll probably see me later. I have these with my yogurt, my eggs, for just the digestion, the uptake of the bioavailability of them. Then what I'll take, depending on how I'm feeling, I'll actually take magnesium biglycinate throughout the day. You can take this in the evening as well, but I might take 1 tab, which is, I believe, 500 milligram here, at some point in the morning, mid-morning, to help keep me calm again. Keep me mellow, and then in the evenings as well, I'll take another tab, just because we are renowned as a society just to be nutrient deficient or deficient in magnesium, so.
Fucking built different.
So when it says mechanical means, usually you would interpret that as cold pressing, no heat.
Yeah.
Not using any of those processes of heat because it damages the fats.
Do you want to talk about why you shouldn't get these?
Generally speaking, especially with oregano, the process they use with that can often contaminate it with heavy metals, so like aluminium, heavy metals in general, so you talk about mercury, lead, arsenic. This might not be the case with this brand, but it's just best to get them freshly cut.
Please select your payment method.
Green tea. I have this pretty much every other day instead of my usual caffeine. And the key with green tea, don't use boiling water. You'll burn the leaves. At 80 degrees, and you leave it in there for about 3 minutes. Don't leave it in for too long, otherwise it becomes really bitter and then everyone's like, oh, I hate green tea. Green tea is actually really nice. Here's typically what my fridge looks like as well. A lot of colour, a lot of fruit and veg. When I go shopping, I'll select basically one of every veg, pretty much. Ginger, lemon, butter, miso paste, really good for your gut, herb spices. And of course, the bigger the fruit bowl, the more morally superior you are to everyone else. So make sure you get them as big as you can. Tomato, basil, avocado, egg. Nice high-fat breakfast with some carbs, because carbs are not the devil. Okay, so meal 2 going down. This is before I work out, about half an hour to an hour. A bit more high carb day just because we're quite active. You'll notice with my meals, I have quite a lot of fat in them. Keep them quite, not fat dominant, but I like to have quite a bit of fat in my meals for satiety. But more importantly, I would say for blood sugar regulation. So we've got dark chocolate, chia seeds, and we've got some flax seeds as well. So that's quite a decent amount of fat. On top of that, of course, you've got the fiber from the jumbo whole grain oats. So it's gonna have a bit more fiber. It's gonna fill you up a little bit more. It's gonna, more important, like I said, slow that release of insulin or blunt that insulin response because it's slower digesting slightly. Again, you know, stable blood sugar equals stable energy. So that's what we go for. It doesn't matter too much, to be honest, because I'm working out, so I'm gonna be moving, but I just like to have a nice stable blood sugar as much as I can. Okay, so got back from the gym about 30 or so minutes ago. I like to calm down, get my body back into what we call the parasympathetic state so we can digest better. And then you want to be having the majority of your carbs before and after your workout, so you kind of in-train or teach your body to better utilize carbohydrates via the peptide released in the stomach called GLUT4. 2 wraps, 2 chicken wraps, organic chicken, a bit of greenery. Again, putting that non-negotiable of having veg or fruit with your meals. Even if you don't have like a salad, a bag of salad or anything, grab a fucking carrot. Just grab something, put anything next to it. Just getting that non-negotiable in. Again, training your brain, putting it into habit is just going to make it so much easier of getting those vital nutrients and helping with cognition throughout the week with electrolytes, all that good stuff, antioxidants. So just being consistent with that and yeah, pretty yummy meal. Nothing too crazy.
And there's barbecue sauce in there for anyone who says that looks so dry.
Oh yeah, there's barbecue sauce. We're not that miserable. We are about being realistic as well. So, yeah. Last point: gluten is not going to make you die. It's not going to kill you. In fact, the majority of the population don't have to worry about gluten intolerances. Do you have gluten sensitivities? That's a different topic. But I would say if you're not having any symptoms of bloatedness, you're not feeling too sluggish, or pain in your stomach, then don't worry about it. You don't want to give yourself a diagnosis of something that's not real. If anything, I would argue if you cut out gluten, you can actually starve off the bacteria that can digest gluten. Then when you reintroduce gluten, you've starved off that bacteria through some kind of extreme diet. Then you get an adverse effect, and then you blame gluten. Gluten is not inherently bad. Again, first rule in toxicology, it's the dosage. So as long as you're not having too much, you'll be fine.
I mean, it's 2 small wraps.
Exactly, but you know how people can be like, you're a health and performance coach, you have gluten, aren't you on some strict ketogenic diet? No, because 1, I like having a life, and 2, I don't believe you need to do that to be at peak performance.
I have a question actually. So how long does it take you to usually make these meals? That's what the fans want to know. How long do you spend in the kitchen cooking? But to be honest guys, I just actually want to point out all the meals I make will take you no more than 15 minutes, even if you're cooking dinner. Like I cook for efficiency, even though it tastes good. I'm not going to spend out. Yeah.
Don't make it complex. Don't make any fancy ingredients. Like you see these pages or you see these channels or whatever, like amazing food, but is that realistic? Or are you going to do that every day? No, you need to reduce decision fatigue. Dinner's going down. So what have we got? We actually eat vegetables. I know it's kind of new now that the fad is to not eat vegetables because of oxalates and all that. And don't worry about it. Long story short, cold pressed olive oil, that kind of stuff. Healthy fats. Wide variety of veg. As a general rule of thumb, you want to be having around 30 portions of a variety of veg per week. You do that to support actually the diversity of your gut health. Eat veg that agrees with your gut. Garlic can be pretty bad. For some people, it can be quite irritable. So introduce these kind of foods slowly. And it can be the same for sprouts, it can be the same for bok choy. But whatever the case is, just introduce it slowly. If you find that you're getting symptoms of gassiness, you do actually want to have vegetables in your diet. It seems like there's this new trend of carnivore, of fruit or veg is bad for you, but it's really not the case. And in fact, I'll probably do a future video on that to explain the science behind it. So part of hydration and part of peak performance is not just about drinking water. You actually can, in a sense, dehydrate yourself because you're ruining or upsetting the electrolyte balance within your body and your brain. So you want to have some salt. That's what's going to hydrate you. Oh, Pyrex dish as well. Avoid aluminium. We use Pyrex dishes. You want to cook with stainless steel, carbon steel, or glass as well. Why do you want to do that? Avoiding those heavy metals. Again, that's going to leach into your food, specifically aluminium. And with non-stick pans, so many people do this. Forever chemicals like C8. There's a movie that's been made about it called Dark Waters. Go and watch it if you haven't already. What do you want to do with your carbs if you're someone who's a high performer who wants to be at peak performance?
Backload.
There you go, backload. So
In the morning, front load your fats. In the evening, back load your carbohydrates. Have a high fat breakfast. You can still have some carbs in the morning, especially if you're going to be active. But ideally, you want to save them for the afternoon, evening, because carbs are a precursor to tryptophan, serotonin. That basically makes you feel good, makes you feel relaxed, which is an ideal situation to be in when you're ready to go to sleep.
Okay, done.
Peak performance, baby.
Boom.
So that was what I eat in a day. Now, there are a few things I actually left out, admittedly, near the end. I forgot I went to bed. Sleep first, remember. So to summarize, I had a scoop of collagen. The reason I have that for skin, heart, joint health. I also had another scoop of vegan protein powder. The reason I have vegan over, say, something like a whey or whey isolate is because of the digestion, or how much easier it is on my digestive system. And again, we know that digestion or overall gut health is key for reducing brain fog, and minimizing things like maybe anxiety, or just when your gut health is poor, your cognition usually tends to follow. I should also add that I might have a little bit of a carb meal about maybe 3 hours before bed. This is just to help me get to sleep. So that could be something like some sourdough with some cottage cheese, or sourdough with a little bit of olive oil, and then obviously my protein shake on the side as well. So you've got your protein, your carbs throughout the night. Keep in mind, this is different for everyone. Some people are very sensitive. Some people might actually benefit from having no food 5 hours before bed, even so. So you have to experiment with that. But 3 hours before bed is a good golden rule. Lastly, I would just want to say a huge thank you from the bottom of my soulless heart that we finally achieved 500 subs. It's a baby milestone, but it's a milestone nonetheless. And big things have small beginnings. So very excited, very happy, very grateful for all of you, and onto the road to 1K. So I will see you there, and I will see you also in the next video.